All right, so you're starting an online business. One of the first and honestly one of the most critical decisions you're going to make is which e-commerce platform to use. I mean, this is the foundation, right? It's everything you're building on. And for years, the big showdown, the main event, has always been Wix versus Shopify.
And you know how the story goes, right? The debate has always been framed like this. Do you want Wix, the one that's super easy to use, drag and drop, get a site up in an afternoon? Or do you want Shopify, the beast with all the powerful pro-level sales tools? It was always presented as this simple choice, this trade-off.
Well, here's the thing. That whole ease versus power debate, it's completely outdated. It's just not the full story anymore. And honestly, if you're still thinking that way, you could be making a huge mistake. The absolute wrong choice for where your business is headed.
The truth is, things have changed a lot. Both of these platforms have evolved like crazy. Shopify, it's got an incredibly user-friendly. And Wix, man, they've packed in some seriously impressive e-commerce features. So the choice isn't so black and white anymore. It's way more nuanced, and frankly, it's more important than ever to get this decision right.
So, the real question, the one you need to be asking yourself, isn't about ease versus power. Not anymore. It's about your ambition. What kind of business are you actually trying to build? Seriously, think about it. Because the answer to that one question, that's what's going to point you straight to the right platform for you.
Okay, let's break this down. Let's think about two different paths you could be on. First, are you building a serious retail brand? We're talking about a business where the store is the main event. You're planning to scale up your inventory, maybe hire staff, and turn this into a major operation. Or are you creating more of a hybrid site? Where commerce is important, for sure, but it's kind of secondary to a bigger content-focused website, like a blog, a portfolio, or maybe you're a service-based business.
Okay, so with that ambition lens firmly in place, let's do this. Let's put these two titans head to head. But look, we're not just going to read off a boring feature checklist. That's not helpful. We're going to analyze how each feature actually serves one of those two very different business ambitions we just talked about.
And we have to start with the most critical round of them all, core e-commerce. I mean, think about it. A beautiful website is completely useless if it can't actually sell products efficiently and manage your operations as you start to grow. This is the engine room of your entire business. It has to work. This quote right here, it perfectly captures Shopify's entire philosophy. It's not just a website builder that has some sales features tacked on. No way. It's an entire operating system for commerce. It was designed from the ground up for one thing and one thing only, to help you scale your sales. Its real power is in its depth, not just in having a feature you can check off a list.
Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean Wix is a lightweight. Far from it. It has become a really formidable all-in-one platform. You get some seriously powerful tools built right in. Stuff like abandoned cart recovery, seamless integrations to sell on Instagram and Facebook, all that good stuff. For a business that's managing a smaller, more focused inventory, it's honestly a fantastic and super comprehensive starting point.
But for that serious retail brand we talked about, this is where Shopify's differentiators become absolute game changers. We're talking inventory management that can handle thousands, literally thousands, of product variations across multiple warehouses. It's got tools for purchase orders, low stock reports, the whole shebang. It has a point-of-sale system that beautifully unifies your online and in-person sales. And this part is so crucial. Its checkout process has been relentlessly optimized over trillions of dollars in transactions. Its one and only job is to convert every last possible visitor into a paying customer.
Okay, let's talk about the app ecosystem. And this is really interesting because you could argue that a platform's app store is its single greatest strategic advantage. Why? Because it's what lets you customize and scale your store to meet, well, literally any challenge that comes your way.
So if you look at the Wix app market, you'll find over 800 apps. And hey, that's a solid number. It covers a lot of ground, especially for a new business or that hybrid model we mentioned.
But then you look at the Shopify App Store, over 8,000 apps. The scale here isn't just bigger, it's a completely different universe of possibilities. And it's not just about the raw number, it's the professional depth. Whatever business challenge you can dream up, from super complex international shipping to enterprise-level email marketing to sophisticated subscription models, you can bet there is a world-class app built by experts ready to solve it for you.
Okay, so what about SEO? Actually getting found on Google.
Wix has its SEO Whiz, which is a fantastic educational tool for beginners. It basically gives you a checklist to make sure you've covered all your bases. It's great for learning. But for that serious brand that needs to compete, Shopify provides a much more robust technical foundation. It just cleanly handles all the nerdy stuff like sitemaps and redirects automatically. It gives you this rock-solid base to actually compete for those top spots in the search results over the long term. All right, now for the old debate starter, design. And you know what? Here's our verdict. It's a tie. Seriously, the argument is over. Wix gives you that total blank canvas freedom, right? You can drag any element anywhere you want. Shopify, on the other hand, gives you a more structured, commerce-focused approach for a professional look that's built to convert, which you can then totally customize with powerful page builder apps. The bottom line is, both paths can now lead you to a stunning, world-class site.
Okay, so let's talk money. What does all this firepower actually cost? Because let's be real, the sticker price you see on the homepage is never the full story. We've got to look at the total cost of ownership to really understand what you're getting for your money.
To make this super clear, let's use a real-world scenario. Let's imagine you have a t-shirt store, and you're doing a pretty solid $5,000 a month in sales. We're going to compare the Wix Core plan against the Shopify Basic plan, apples to apples.
Okay, check this out. The crucial point is right here in the numbers. The Wix plan, all in, is going to run you about $204 a month. Now, Shopify, and this is a big if you use their own Shopify payment system, it's actually a little bit cheaper at $200. But here is the big catch you have to know about. If you insist on using a third-party payment gateway like PayPal for all your sales, Shopify slaps on an extra 2% fee. That bumps its cost way up to $300. So the takeaway here is pretty clear. For most businesses, Shopify actually ends up being the better value.
I know. All these features and numbers can start to feel a little abstract. So to wrap this all up, let's look at a story that makes the real consequence of this choice crystal clear.
So let's talk about John. He starts this awesome artisanal candle business on Wix. And you know what? For his first 50 sales, it was absolutely perfect. But then, his business just exploded. All of a sudden, he's managing hundreds of different candle variations. He needs to sell at local markets with a real point-of-sale system. He needs serious marketing automation tools to keep growing. And he just hit a ceiling. The very tools that were perfect for starting out were now the things holding him back. So he had to go through the really painful process of migrating everything over to Shopify. And this quote just nails it. It really illustrates the core difference here. And John's story? It's incredibly common. See, Wix was the perfect launchpad. It helped him get his business off the ground. But Shopify? Shopify is the engine that is now helping him build a real, scalable brand. It's helping him build an empire.
So after all of this analysis, our verdict is pretty decisive. Think of it this way. Wix is an excellent website builder that can sell things. Shopify is a dedicated commerce platform designed to build a business that just happens to have a website. And for anyone who is truly serious about growth, about inventory, and about long-term success, Shopify is the clear and definitive winner.
And that leaves you with one final question. A question you really need to ask yourself, because it should make your choice perfectly clear. Are you building a website or are you building a business?